Okay, what's up, guys? Here's another episode of how to make money recycling cars and car parts. And today we are going to be doing a live research call for one of the community members. This guy's name is Robert Mosher. I believe he goes by Bobby, and he says, "Hi, I'm in Florida. This is his zip code, and he can't wait to start flipping parts." And that's exactly the correct attitude. His goal is to flip 14 parts per day at $20 profit a day. That's more than possible. When I usually go to the junkyard, I usually get about 30 parts, sometimes more, just depending on how long I want to stay there. Usually it's really hot out, so I just don't really last that long. But if you worked a full day, you can get 14 parts in like 4 hours or something if you really knew what you were doing. And $20 per profit, I see a lot higher profits on my parts. I don't really like to sell anything that's less than $75 at least, and ideally nothing that's less than like $95. But we're going to be recording a live pick sheet research call for him. So, who am I? Why should you believe me? My name is Chase Erickson. I've been working in my family's junkyard since I was 11 years old. This is me repairing the rebar of an aluminum smelting furnace, and this was our original shitty little junkyard that we did 76 cars a day out of. And now we run this operation here, which has 52 garage bay doors, and this is when it was being built. 66 acres of land, and you can see here it's all filled up with cars now, all back here and all around here, and this does about 350 cars per day or something like that when it's running at full capacity, depending on shift load. I've also worked at the number 1 and number 2 auto manufacturers. You can look me up on LinkedIn if you want. And now I'm back at school getting my master's in engineering at the University of Texas at Austin, and I still flip car parts here even while I'm a full-time student. So you can definitely do this if you have a full-time job and just want to make extra income. I literally have no space. I don't have a garage in my apartment, so I rent a storage locker, and I literally relocated all of my inventory to the storage locker as I moved back to school. So while being a full-time student, I do over $6,000 in 4 weeks of sales, which is not bad for working 1 day per week. And what parts do I sell? This is the question that everybody really needs to ask. And so if you want to know what parts you should sell, well, join my free community just like Bobby did here. And in the classroom section, there is an auto parts database that has 100 of my top reselling parts that you can download with pictures and the average value. And these all have a sell-through over 75%, meaning they'll likely sell in less than 28 days if you list appropriately with good pictures. And if you list a little bit cheaper, just because you don't have any feedback on your eBay account yet, it'll definitely sell quicker, potentially within like 7 days on the higher sell-through products. And then to conduct the research, basically all you're going to do is you're going to come in here, you're going to download this list of parts, and this isn't going to display, here it is. And basically you're just going to search these parts for every single year, make, and model that arrived at your junkyard. And yes, this is going to take a lot of time. This is where the whole business is, right? All you need to know is what parts are worth getting, and then actually cleaning and listing them is the easy part. You know, fulfilling the orders, that's just cashing the check. This is where your money's made. And so basically these are all the parts I will look at. This is a very comprehensive list, and you do not need to start looking at all these parts if that overwhelms you or you just don't have the time to do it. Start on the more common and the more common parts like AC heater control. And basically now we're going to go through step by step researching a local yard for this community member. So let me go back to the community. So this guy's zip code is 34762. So let's put that in and go to maps. Okay, north of Orlando. You pull it near so the budget, you pull it. Most junkyards don't have great pictures, so it's not really surprising. This one seems to be the closest to him, so let's look at this one. But if I was him, I'd definitely venture into these 2 yards as well. Usually need about 3, maybe 4 yards that you visit on occasion. And if you're doing this full time, then obviously it becomes worthwhile to even like leave state lines. I drive all across my state to get the parts I'm trying to resell. Alright, so basically we're going to go to their inventory, and I've obviously never been to this website before. And here, boom, new arrivals. This is nice and easy. I'm going to assume that this is the row number. So we're going to copy and paste this. We're going to look at all the cars that have arrived. So 828, 829, dang. So this is a decent chunk of cars that have just arrived. That is a good thing. So now we're going to go to ChatGPT. We're going to come over here. Put this into a table of year, make, model, row. Alright, and then once it's done doing that, I'm just going to download it. Otherwise, if you're doing manual research, you can copy and paste this table yourself. Okay, so then basically I'm just going to go to... Alright, so then I'm just going to create a new sheet for this guy. And we're going to name this guy Bobby. And we're going to paste the list. Alright, so now if I'm you, I'm looking at my parts list. And I'm going to search this part. So AC heater control. Okay, so what's our first vehicle? 2014 Hyundai Accent. So you're going to go to eBay. You're going to type in the vehicle. And then you're going to go to condition used to get rid of all the parts that are not original OEM manufactured. And you're going to take a look at the value of the part. So you can see this is usually listed for about 78 upwards to $100 depending. And you can see that there's 74 currently listed in used condition. Then if you come down here and you filter the sold listing, you can see that there's 71. Boom, that's an excellent part to resell. That has nearly 100% sell through. And you can see that some of these, so this is selling for $60 plus $30 of delivery, $30. It basically is worth about $100 when you factor in shipping for free. That's an excellent part to pull actually. And if we look back at his yard, let's see, and we look at his parts price, and we're going to look at AC control. Wow, this is a really great yard. This is really cheap. AC control as is. $15. So he's going to buy that for $100. He's going to lose $15 to the yard. Oops. 100 minus $15. He's going to lose $10 or $12 to eBay fees. He's going to lose $8 to promoting it. And he's going to lose $10 to shipping it. He's going to make $55 on that part. That's a 55% margin. That is an excellent margin in any sort of business. And remember, his goal was only $20 per part, right? So this technically counts as 2 parts in his mind. That is excellent. We'll take that all day long, and he'll be well on his way to making $100K a year. So, and he's in Florida, so there'll be no income tax on his business. So now I'm just going to plug it into my little calculator. This is hooked up to my own personal database. So after you guys build your list based on the techniques I just showed you, you can build something like this too, and I'll show you guys how to do that if you want. But this is just hooked up to my spreadsheet, and it's going to analyze all the parts that I like to look at for these vehicles that will arrive to him. And if you want access to this, then you can join the free community, and I'll do this for you just like I'm doing it for Bobby. And so we'll give it a minute. Alright, and then we're just going to copy this to my clipboard. Come back to the sheet. And we're going to clear this. Boom. Alright, and now I'm just going to go through, and you can see that we have 215 parts for him. And we're going to go, and I'm going to clean this up. And it's currently 4 o'clock, 4:01 p.m. And you'll see exactly how long this takes me to do to get him a decent amount of parts from these recent arrivals at his yard. So I'm going to pause this, and I'll come back in a little bit. I just wanted to make a quick note, guys, that when you're building your database, it is critical that you guys include images of the parts. For things like heater controls, radios, even console lids, you're going to notice that certain variations of the part are going to sell much better than others. So for example, now for this part it doesn't seem to matter. You can see the cloth version seems to be selling just as well as a leather version. But on other parts like a Nissan Maxima center console lid, which is a super abundant part in the junkyard, usually I only ever pull the leather part. So you need to look at the pictures and validate that the part that sells well is documented so that when you go to the yard, you're not wasting time or buying parts that aren't actually going to sell. So basically, I'm just going to keep searching these exactly how I showed you. You would search the parts, and then I'm going to add a picture for him, and that's how you're going to know what parts to pull. Okay, so it's 30 minutes later, and I'm not going to go through this full list. I ended up confirming about 40 parts for him, and I left these for him to do on his own. We'll separate these guys so he knows. But yeah, basically, in 30 minutes of work of research, there is $4,646 in parts confirmed I know will sell within 28 days, assuming they're priced reasonably with good pictures. And he's got really good prices. I went back and looked at some of the prices on this yard, and they are extremely cheap. Like, that heater was cheap, and this lid is so cheap. A console lid, $3.99. Yesterday's video we filmed, this exact same console lid, it was $17 at the exact same yard. So he's probably going to run like a 65% margin on this, which is absolutely ridiculous. And so in 30 minutes of research, I confirmed $3,019 worth of pure profit of parts that he can pull. And that probably is only going to take him a day. This is only 39 parts. He could pull all of this in a day. This will all sell likely within a month, and he'll make $3,000 profit. So we'll print this off in a PDF, and if you guys want to now, you guys can take screenshots of this. And I'm going to leave these at the bottom so he can do some work on himself. And I'm going to send this as a PDF and post it in the school community. So if you guys want something similar done for yourself, then join the school community. The link will be in the bio. It's totally free. You can see, free. All right, see ya.